Hey there, this is James Nowak, Director of University Success at Our Bowl. Hope you're doing well. It can be very challenging to develop a comprehensive plan to pay for college. While tuition fees, housing, meals are a significant part of the equation, indirect expenses like books, supplies, gas money, flights home for the holidays, these can often catch students and families off guard. So that's where our living expense module comes in. Designed to help you proactively account for all of those additional costs that tend to arise throughout the term but don't necessarily show up on any bill. By planning ahead with our module, you can ensure that these expenses are managed effectively, reducing your stress and allowing you to focus on the classroom. So let's dive in and see how it works. The living expense module is intended to provide students with the opportunity to account for all of those indirect expenses outside of the classroom. So the first thing you'll notice is we are summarizing all potential living expenses from August 26th, 2024 to December 23rd, 2024. So that spans obviously the fall 2024 semester. So the idea here is we're going to build an indirect budget, right, for all things outside of the classroom from August through December. So the first thing that you'll do is choose a housing status. And obviously the housing accommodations or your housing situation is going to drive a lot of the recommendations that you're given within this module. So for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to be a resident student. We're going to answer 5 questions. First, do you frequently buy food outside of your meal plan? Do you cover your own health insurance? Do you drive your own car often? Are you making car payments? And are you making credit card payments? And then finally, you'll indicate the zip code for your campus. Now you'll notice that the term start and end dates do default here. Now you do have the flexibility to build indirect expenses outside of those start and end dates. So for example, you could extend out the end date of the fall term if, for example, you want to account for maybe rent expenses that will carry into January and February, etc. And finally, you will choose a spending style. So we have derived 3 spending style categories: thrifty, average, and high roller. Because I'm a college student, I intend to be a thrifty spender. And as soon as I choose that spending style, you'll see that you are given 2 categories of indirect budget components. The first, essential; the second, non-essential. This is a really powerful opportunity for students to take control of those indirect expenses. So you'll notice as soon as I chose thrifty, all potential living expenses at the top totaled $2,495.43. Now that may or may not be representative, probably is not representative of my exact indirect budget for the fall term. So the student's charge at this point would be to interact with these budget components. For example, let's say mom and dad are still paying my cell phone bill. Very fortunate. I'm going to go ahead and delete that component altogether. Let's say that my books and supplies have been taken care of for the term. So we can, maybe through financial aid, we can go ahead and delete that budget component. And you'll see that that interaction has reduced the total in the top for all potential living expenses. And as soon as I submit this, you'll see that that total is now being contributed to the right-hand side banner, which really is a summary of all direct and indirect expenses experienced throughout the term. So the living expense module is a really nice opportunity for students to proactively plan for those expenses outside of the classroom for the term. And we'll get into how we can proactively account for paying for some of those expenses in the employment income module.